Do you struggle to maintain weight loss but desperately want to feel good in your own skin, confident in your clothes, and improve your overall health? If so, you're home. Hey, I'm Sam. I'm an elder millennial, dietitian, specialist in weight management, and former functioning fat girl. I learned how to win at weight loss by breaking free from diet culture PTSD. My mission is to marry the science with practical, real-life strategies because we all know if it's not realistic, it's not happening. Are you ready to ditch diet culture and learn how to win at weight loss? Grab your water bottle and let's go. Before we get started on today's amazing episode, I just want to remind you that if you're not subscribed to my email newsletter, More Than a Number Weekly, you're missing out. I break down the most important points of these podcast episodes, provide you with effective freebies, and give you first dibs on any new offers or programs that I'm running. This is the best way to stay in contact with me, and you can even send in ideas for specific topics you want me to break down on the podcast. So don't miss out and go to bit.ly/MTAN weekly. MTAN like more than a number. So it's bit.ly, B as in boy, it.ly/MTAN weekly. Okay, let's dig into the episode. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the More Than a Number podcast. I have a question, and please be honest. How many times have you meal prepped on Sunday and then ordered pizza by Tuesday? My hand is raised. That has definitely happened. I know I'm not alone. You bought the groceries, you chopped the vegetables, you cooked the chicken, you portioned everything into those cute little containers you got, and you told yourself, this is it. This is the week I finally get my act together. And then Tuesday rolls around and something happens. You get busy, you get tired, something throws off your routine, and suddenly those cute little containers are still sitting in the fridge while you're dialing up the pizza place you have on speed dial. And then what do we do? Or what do we say to ourselves? Well, I already messed up, so I may as well just start again on Monday. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. This episode is for you because today we're talking about something that most people don't really address when they're trying to lose weight. It's not necessarily a lack of information. Certainly that can be true, but a lot of times the biggest issue is an implementation problem. There's a gap in the implementation process. You know what to do, but doing it consistently is where everything just falls apart. And today, I want to walk you through why that happens, why so many people get stuck in the starting over cycle, and how to finally break out of it. One of the biggest myths in the weight loss world is that people struggle because they don't know what to do. But truthfully, if you're listening to this podcast, that's probably not your biggest problem. You know about a high protein diet. I talk about it all the time. You know protein helps with satiety. It keeps us feeling full and satisfied for a longer period of time than any other foods or macronutrients. You know resistance training is important. You know you should move more. You know that meal prep can make healthy eating easier. You know veggies are good for you. You know the ultra-processed food in excess probably is no bueno. You know the basics, right? Information, not the biggest issue. In fact, we live in a time where there's almost too much information. And actually, I take that back. Not almost. There is too much information. And unfortunately, a lot of it is flaming hot garbage and shouldn't be paid attention to or followed anyways by people on social media with no credentials or background. I digress. But you can open Instagram right now and find reels for a high protein recipe, a meal prep tutorial, a grocery list, a macro calculator, a workout plan, all within about 15 seconds. So the problem is not always knowledge per se. The problem is consistency when real life be lifin', when conditions are unfavorable. Because life doesn't happen in perfect weeks. Life happens in stressful weeks, busy weeks, emotional weeks, unexpected weeks. And if your strategy only works on your best week, we got ourselves a problem, my friend. It's not actually a strategy. It's a temporary pipe dream. So let's talk about why this cycle happens. Because once you can really see it clearly, you lift the veil off of what's actually going on, it really becomes easier to break. The first problem is, wait for it, can you guess? I'm going to call some people out right now. Perfectionism. Woo, I know I got some perfectionists out there. Are you one? Are you one of them? We create these perfect plans. We have perfect grocery lists, perfect meal prep routines, perfect macro targets. And then the moment something goes like slightly off plan, we feel like we failed. You skip one workout, you miss one day of meal prep, you eat something that wasn't in those cute little containers, and suddenly your brain is like, well, screwed up the whole week. It's all ruined. But here's the truth. The week was not ruined. Your expectation was unrealistic. And if you missed the last series I did on expectations, I would encourage you to go back and give those episodes a listen. It was episodes 26 through 28. I dove into all the different ways our expectations can actually be sabotaging our weight loss efforts. The second problem is the weekend, or should I say the weekend shame spiral. You do great all week, you follow your high protein diet, you stick to your meal prep, and then it's the weekend. Somebody invites you to happy hour on Friday, so you kick it off with happy hour. You go out to dinner over the weekend or brunch or both. There's a birthday party, a wedding, whatever. There's drinks. There's some late night Taco Bell runs or snacks. Then Monday morning comes and the scale's up. And your brain is like, this isn't working. So then we restart the whole process all over again. The third problem is trying to, as always, lose as much weight as humanly possible, as fast as possible. And we talked about this in the last episode. When the plan is extremely restrictive, your brain eventually says, the heck with this, and rebels. It goes off the rails. So the tighter the rules, the harder they are to sustain, which leads to that classic cycle. Strict, 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 and then we slip up, and then we spiral, and then we restart again. Okay, I know. I have been there a million times. I'm sure everybody listening to this has as well. It's very frustrating, but it's very easy to stay in that loop. And then when we're in that loop for however long, we get burnout. So when we're following a rigid plan week after week, it's exhausting, especially if you're juggling work, family, responsibilities, stress. Eventually, your brain is like, nah, girl, that's going to be a no from me, dog. I need a break. And then when that happens, we interpret it as failure because we go totally off the rails and we just say, well, forget it. We screwed it all up again. But what if it's not failure? What if it's feedback? And your plan was just too rigid and unrealistic to maintain. This is where the real shift has to happen. And it has nothing to do with macros, nothing to do with your cute meal prep containers, nothing to do with finding the perfect high protein recipe. I've talked about this before. Sometimes I feel like a broken record. We keep talking about the same things over and over again, but we all need to hear it over and over again, right? It has everything to do with identity. Most people approach weight loss with the identity of, I'm on a diet. And when you're on a diet, there's always a start date, and then there's always a restart. But people who maintain long-term weight loss tend to operate from a different identity. When we're on a diet, we're eventually going to come off, right? But people who are in it for the long haul, they know I'm someone who maintains. And that identity behaves differently. So someone who maintains doesn't restart every Monday. They just reset after a slip up. There's a big, huge, gigantic difference between restart and reset. Restart says, I screwed up. I failed. It's all ruined. Burn it all down. Reset says, okay, I slipped. I adjust and I keep going. One thing that I love to teach clients is the 24-hour rule. No spiral can last longer than 24 hours. You had a big meal. Okay. The next meal is back to your normal routine. You missed a workout. Okay. Tomorrow you get some movement in. You ate off your plan. All right. Calm down. No big deal. The next meal will be balanced again. Not Monday, not next week, the next meal. Because the faster you reset or realign, the less damage the slip actually does. So the longer we let it go, the more damage it creates, right? So this is what we call the next meal mindset. Not the next week, the next meal mindset. So let's make this super practical and tactical. If you feel off track, if you feel like things are slipping away, here is a simple reset framework that I teach my clients. No detox, no punishment, no starvation, just these 5 things. We hit our protein. So we return to our high protein meals. Remember, the protein is stabilizing hunger, blood sugar, and it's helping you to feel more satisfied for a longer period of time. Number 2, we walk. Movement helps regulate appetite, improve mood, and reset your physiology. So we want to get more steps in, be less sedentary. The third thing, we train. Resistance training preserves muscle and improves metabolic health. The fourth thing that is necessary, we sleep. You cannot out-diet a poor sleep. Sleep regulates hunger hormones and recovery. Sleep is the most underrated part of a weight loss and weight maintenance journey. If we are not sleeping well regularly, we are going to feel more hungry. We're going to want to eat more. We're going to be more anxious, more stressed out. It all kind of spirals into the negative direction. Okay, so sleep. And then the fifth and final thing, we resume normal eating at the next meal. The next meal mindset, not Monday, not tomorrow, the next meal. When you practice this reset process enough times, something really powerful happens. One, you start to trust yourself more because you realize that these little, small slips are not failures. They're just small slips, and you get back on track and all is good. There's no one meal one weekend, one specific food, one night that is going to completely ruin your progress. But if we let that one meal, one weekend, one specific food, whatever, get into your head and fester and make you feel shame and feel guilt and, beat yourself up and claim you have no willpower, no discipline, and you just always regain weight and nothing ever works for you, well, guess what? Nothing's ever going to work for you because it's going to, just take over into a negative mindset, and you're just going to keep dwelling in that negativity instead of just brushing it off and saying, all right, cool, and back to normal at my next meal. Okay. Now, if you're listening and you're like, okay, this is me. This is exactly what I do. I am the I'll start again on Monday queen. Yes, that's me. I promise you, you are not alone. And that was me at one point in my life. And trust me, I get it. That is exactly what we solve inside the Winning at Weight Loss Breakthrough session. So, in that session, we're not talking about only like calories and macros. We're looking at where you struggle the most, like where your plan actually breaks down. Is it the weekend? Is it stress? Is it unrealistic meal prep expectations? Is it protein distribution? Is it training consistency? We look at all of those things and then simplify your strategy. And we build something that works on your hardest weeks, not just your, most motivated ones, not just the good weeks. So we customize a game plan specifically for you that will be realistic for you to do, like I say, even on those hard weeks. Because a plan that only works when life is perfect is never going to lead to long-term weight loss. Because, hello, life is never perfect. But a plan that works when life is messy, now that's the plan that changes everything. So if that sounds like something you need, you can always go to bit.ly/winatweightlossnow and book your session. It's bit.ly/winatweightlossnow. So my friend, if you can take one thing from today's episode, please let it be this. You don't need more information to lose weight. You need a strategy that survives real life when it be lifin'. Meal prep helps. A high protein diet helps. Training helps. But the real key is learning how to reset instead of restart. Because sustainable weight loss is not built on perfect weeks. It's built on thousands of imperfect days where you simply keep going. Because that's exactly what we need to do. Just keep on going. Be like, what's her name? Dory. Keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I hope this episode helped you. If it did, send it to a friend who also is stuck in that restart cycle. And if you haven't yet, I would be absolutely so grateful if you could leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts because it really helps the show reach more people who need it. All right, friends, I love you. God loves you. I will see you right back here next week. Hey, friend, I hope you feel empowered by this episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share it with another friend who needs it? Also, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. Your reviews are what helps it get seen by more people who need it. Okay, time to go show up for myself, and I hope you do the same. I'll meet you back here next week for another episode. Have a blessed day.